Oh, hey there. Hey Jason, how's it going? I'm home. I am in Toronto. Crazy, right? Never thought I'd make it this far. Thanks for your video. The title of your video was In the Six, and that actually reminds me of a video I saw recently about why Toronto is called the Six and why Drake called it the Six. A lot of people think it's named after the two area codes and phone numbers, 416 and 647. Not true. Anyone who says that to you is a liar and a fool. The real reason is it's because Toronto is made up of what used to be 6 boroughs, which is Old Toronto, which is basically the old subway line, York, East York, North York, Scarborough, and Etobicoke. That was my dog, Sunny. I don't know if you've met her before, but now you have. If you hear crunching noises, that's her eating chips. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is about my bike. In my last video, I made my bike, as you saw, and it's now completely functional. It's fantastic. It's exactly what I want. Also, in the last video, I asked you guys to vote on what you wanted my bike to be named. The winner of that vote was Carnage. My bike is named Carnage. And my bike is also transgendered. The reason my bike is transgendered is because Carnage is a male villain who standardly fights Spider-Man, but as most bikes and boats and cars are, they're female. So, in order to make sure my bike is both male and female, my bike is now transgendered and should be and wants to be referred to as a they or a them, or their. I've also started biking every morning. This morning I did 16.2 kilometers. I biked down to Lakeshore and turned east, west, west. I turned west. I also recently tried to repaint my bike helmet. Usually I wouldn't care, but my bike helmet was white and green, and my bike was red and black, so I felt like that was something I needed to change. I bought some spray paint, and I spray painted the helmet. It didn't turn out so well. The black was fine, and the spray paint said to leave it to dry for 1 hour, so I left it for like an hour and a half. Then I wanted to tape it and spray red at specific places. So I taped it, and I sprayed the red, and I left that for a while as well. And then when I took the tape off, it took some of the black off with it. So now the helmet looks very worn, very beaten up. It's still okay. I'll still use it, and it's still functional, but it doesn't look exactly as I want it to. I'll show you right now. So as you can see, it just looks really worn. It looks like Deadpool's face. So as you can see, it's not exactly perfect, but I mean, it works and it looks kind of post-apocalyptic Mad Max. Anyway, safety comes first. The second thing I want to talk about is a major thing that happened in soccer recently. A team called Leicester City, which is a very small club in England, just won the Premier League on Monday night. This is a huge deal for two major reasons. First of all, at the beginning of the season, the odds that they would win the Premier League was 5,000 to 1. That means that their chances of winning were 0.02%. There's never been a big of an upset in any sport in history. The second reason why this is such a big deal is how much their squad cost. Manchester City, the most expensive squad in the Premier League this season, cost around 400 million euros. Arsenal cost around 250 million euros, and the team I support cost about 150 million. Leicester's squad cost 50 million euros. To put that into perspective, the most expensive player for Manchester City cost 54 million euros. His name is Kevin De Bruyne, and he's Belgian. All of Leicester cost 49. Leicester don't play exciting football, and they aren't very exciting to watch. Also, it's not like they beat everybody 4 or 5-0 every game. A lot of their games were won 1-0. They won because they had a very solid defense and they counterattacked very quickly. They had 3 main players that let them do this. The first is Jamie Vardy. He's a 28-year-old English striker. 2 years ago, he was playing in 3 divisions below the Premier League. 10 years ago, he was a factory worker. This year, at the beginning of the season, he set the record for the most consecutively scored games in a row, which is 14 games. The previous record was held by a Manchester United striker who scored in 12. Jamie Vardy has the second most goals in the Premier League this season with 22 goals. Second player that's worth talking about is the player who, in my opinion, was the player of the season of the entire Premier League this year. He's a French guy who's probably African named N'Golo Kanté. He's a midfielder who's one of those players who just runs everywhere. Every game, he'll touch every blade of grass. He's not amazingly skilled, but he's just a player who has great positioning and endless stamina. The final player I want to talk about is an Algerian. He is the player who won Player of the Season for the Premier League this year. His name is Riyad Mahrez. He is incredibly skilled with the ball and has 16 goals and 11 assists this season. Most people in the world are very happy Leicester won, and I am one of those people for the most part. However, the reason why Leicester won on Monday night was because my team, Tottenham, who were in second place chasing them in first place, tied on Monday night, officially making it impossible for us to catch them in the final 2 games of the season. So yes, I'm glad that a team out of nowhere with no money completely broke the system and won the Premier League. I think that's great for sport and for soccer. It would have been dope if my team won the title as well. And in fact, we kind of deserved it more than they did. We still spent a lot less than most other teams at the top half of the Premier League, and we play very exciting, high-pressing soccer. We've created the most chances this season, scored the most goals, conceded the least goals, had the most clean sheets, had the most players in the team of the season, had the highest goal scorer in Harry Kane, had the young player of the season in Dele Alli, and had the youngest squad of an average age of 23.4. I'm not sad because going into the season we expected to finish maybe 5th or 6th, so coming in 2nd is still a huge achievement, and we have such a young team that we're probably going to be able to keep this up for the next couple of years if none of our players get sold. Okay, Jason, the last thing I wanted to talk about is actually about different and this summer. I get that you don't fully understand what your commitments and your schedule are going to be like this summer, but something that we've talked about for a while is potentially posting a video on different every single day. We would alternate, so I would actually post every other day. Starting today, I decided that I'm still going to go ahead with that plan, and I'm now going to start posting every other day on different. Hopefully I'll be able to think of enough interesting content, and I have a bunch of different ideas that I'm hoping the Difference will enjoy. In case you haven't caught on yet, this channel is called Different, so the frequent viewers and subscribers to this channel are called The Difference. Anyways, Jason, that's it for today. You're going to come back to Toronto soon, and we're going to go see Civil War on Friday, but until then, I'll catch you in the funny pages.